Hey guys, welcome back. Mr. Cohen here with another lesson. This one is on coordinate planes. Please make sure you have the worksheet and a pencil in front of you. Most of you are probably familiar with coordinate planes. You've probably done it in previous years, but let's just make sure that we have all the terminology down. First I want to look at is the x-axis and the y-axis. You'll notice that there's two lines, one of them being a horizontal line, the other one being a vertical line. The x-axis is our horizontal line. The y-axis is our vertical line, which I'll label those there. After you do that, what you'll notice is that the two lines form four different areas that we're going to call quadrants. Quadrant 1 is located in the upper right-hand side. You'll notice that it is a positive x and a positive y. Quadrant 2 is located in the upper left-hand side. You'll notice that it is a negative x and it is a positive y. Quadrant 3 is located in the bottom left-hand area. It is the negative x and it is the negative y. Quadrant 4 is located over here, which is the positive x and negative y. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that I used Roman numerals here for quadrants. Typically, that's the way you're going to see quadrants. You're going to see them with Roman numerals. No, that's not an I. That is a Roman numeral 1. Just as that is not an IV, that is the Roman numeral for 4. So, as you write down your quadrants, please write them down using Roman numerals. Next, let's talk a little bit about ordered pairs. What you'll notice is that I have my four quadrants set up, my x and y axis, and now we have to find the ordered pairs for the points that are plotted on our graph. A lot of you in class recall walking into a hotel before you go up or down. It's just an easy way to remember that you always do the x-axis first before you do the y-axis. Over before you go up or down. So let's look at here. First one we want to look at is M. We want to find what is the ordered pair for M. And give me 1 second while I pull up my pen. There it is, but I like it on this side. Thank you. And we'll pick blue. Blue is a good color. Here we go. M. We go over before we go up. So we are going over 1, 2, 3. And up 1, 2. So my ordered pair for M is going to be 3, comma, 2. Perfect. Next is Y. Again, we do the x-axis before the y-axis. So I move over 1, 2, and I move down 1, 2, 3. So my ordered pair for y is a negative 2, negative 3. You'll notice that it is very important that you put the x before the y, because if you didn't, it would lead you to a totally different spot. For example, if I did negative 3, x, negative 2y, that would bring me to negative 3, negative 2, which you'll notice that is not where y is. Y is here at negative 2, negative 3. Also, when you write ordered pairs, notice how I did put them in parentheses separated by a comma. That is the correct way to write an ordered pair, and when you write an ordered pair, I do expect it to be in parentheses separated by a comma. One last thing I want to look at today is, not that, this. Reflections. When you think about reflections, you should conjure up images of looking into a mirror. And you can do reflections using the coordinate plane. Here I have a plot already pointed, or a point already plotted. It is negative 3, 2. And it's this yellow dot right here. Negative 3, up to 2. But over here is our directions. What we're going to do is we're going to name the ordered pair that is a reflection of negative 3, negative 2 across the x-axis. Let's break down this question a little bit more. So we want to do a reflection. Reflection is like looking into the mirror. So that's what we're going to do with this point here. And we're going to do it across the x-axis, now which is this one here. Now it's important that you find what line you're going to reflect off of. In this case, we're reflecting off the x-axis. So treat the x-axis as if it was the mirror. And here's our point. Looking into this mirror right here. As we reflect off it, because it's the x-axis, this is going to stay the same, meaning that you're going to just drop right across the same x point as this one. So, -3, 2. We go to -3, and because we went up 1, 2, we need to go down 1, 2, and here's my point. And sorry, that's a bad point, but you get the idea. When we reflect, if it's across the x-axis, the x will stay the same. It's the y that's going to change. Now let's see how it changed. Our new point is -3 and a -2. Notice the x-axis is what we used as our mirror. When it reflected off, the x stayed the same, -3, -3. However, the 2 changed. It went from a +2 to a -2. Many of you will recognize from a few days ago when we talked about opposites. The opposite of 2 is -2. So the y changed to its opposite. When you reflect off the x-axis, x will stay the same, y will be the opposite. When you reflect off the y-axis, y will stay the same and x will be its opposite. We'll talk much more about this in class. Thank you, and we'll see you in class.